Hello, everyone. Before I get started on my activity, I'm just going to give a little bit of a backdrop on what high scope curriculum is. High scope focuses on getting an environment where children can play with items and use raw materials for learning. So that could be anything from sticks outside that they play with, cooking utensils that parents may use to make a daily meal, be it breakfast, lunch, dinner. It can also be toys that they play with, like blocks, anything in art, science, housekeeping, anything that is safe but available. The characteristics of high scope is a learning environment and atmosphere that is welcoming, significant material children find, use, and return on their own. So, as well as it being teacher led, it's also child led, meaning that the teacher can guide the child on what to do, and the child can also lead in the activity as well. The typical interest areas for high scope are house, art, reading, writing, woodworking, math, science, outdoor, block, sand and water, movement, music, and sometimes computer. When you use high scope curriculum, as a teacher, you engage in play with the children. You use open-ended materials. For example, like I named earlier, rocks, twigs, containers, shells, pieces of carpet, and old clothes. So anything that again is safe, but is also something that we may use in our daily lives. And also real life items, as I mentioned before, cooking utensils, dress up clothes, objects and tools from home, like even maybe like a little rake that they can play with, a broom, something where they're imitating their parents or the adults that they see. Just giving it that real life self help skills. And as far as the materials in the classroom, they're stored on a shelf where children can visibly see them and reach them on their own. They're labeled with pictures, drawings, words, and tracings. And high scope, parents are also a big part of anything that their child is involved in. If parents are involved, it does help. It gives insight to the teacher as well as helping the parents understand what the child is doing in school. The parents can provide feedback to the teachers on what the child may be struggling with at home, and the teacher can integrate that into a lesson to help the child learn. So it's always good to invite your parents in to engage in activities with your children, if that's just reading a book, coming in to do special events that you may be having in your classroom, or if it's just to do free play. Any engagement with parents helps. So, for my activity, I chose to do a learning train, which we're going to be learning our colors as well as our lowercase and uppercase letters. So, our simple materials or raw materials that we'll be using is just a little wooden train, and we'll also have our colored blocks. So, we have yellow, and just simply slide it over top like this, and we have other colors. So just to give a little setup of what I did, I used Velcro strips and I placed them on the bars or the sticks of the train. So the idea of this is to get our children to use their fine motor skills as well as their learning at the same time. So we simply place our blue block on our train, and then we'll look through our letters to see which color letter matches our blue block. And then we'll take it and we'll say, oh, it's a uppercase blue E. So we have our blue letter and our blue block. And then we'll do the same for our lowercase letter. We'll stick it on, and we see that they both match. So then we'll take our flashlight and we'll get ready for our train to leave the station. But of course, we have to find
The dog is blue.
the color that matches. Here we go. We have to find the color that matches our train before it can take off from the station. So we'll shine the light on our blue train, and then our train will take off. So with this, our kids are learning not only their letters, but as well as their colors, and they're using their skills to build the train, as well as put together a puzzle. And this is my activity, and we'll call it the Learning Train. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you were able to understand and learn something about high scope curriculum. Bye.